Hey y'all, this is Giacomo. How y'all doing? Decided to do a little landscape video this time. I'm gonna say one more time a great big thank you to the Chevrolet Corporation for this great Chevrolet Equinox. It is so quiet in here. Unfortunately, I forgot to put my sun shield up, and it's 98 degrees here in the Carolinas, and it's about 130 in my car, in my Chevrolet Equinox. So today I was thinking about my career back in Hollywood, and a lot of you may know or may not know that I did primarily extra work. You can clown me if you want to, it's all good, but I call it 20 years of on-the-job training. I mean, I never went to school for production. I was a writer-director, and I learned how to produce by watching other people do it. But over those 20 years of doing, background work and some one-liners here or there and other roles that I've had in smaller pictures where I had, carte blanche, I was the man on set, I've met a lot of celebrities. Some were more outgoing than others. Some, when they were at the early or nascent parts of their careers, were a lot more approachable. And then people changed. So you see my video about how Hollywood has lost its way. I got to thinking that maybe it's not just that, it's Hollywood changes people. I'll give you a couple of concrete examples of people I was thinking about this morning. I met Ben Stiller when I was doing extra work on The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. Now, of course, this is Jim Carrey right after The Mask and everything else, so he was, Superman. And we had paparazzi following the set, everything, it's a real pain in the butt. But Ben Stiller, little dude, was walking around set all cool, nobody really bothered him, and, he would speak to people. Hey, how you doing? What's up, man? How you doing? I met Ben Stiller again on the Warner lot. This is maybe 7 or 8 years later. He was getting into a limousine with his wife, and I forget her name, unfortunately. But, didn't walk up to him or try to kiss his ass or anything. Just kind of went, hey, how you doing? And he looked at me as if I was some sort of a threat. Granted, yeah, I'm 6'2", and right about now I weigh 230. I probably weighed about 215 back then. The fact that I was on the Warner lot, and this is after 9/11, of course, so it was a lot more security, but the fact that I had met the security requirement for being on the lot, and obviously I was there for a purpose, what threat could I possibly have posed to him at that point, especially just walking through? So, all right, he didn't say anything, didn't smile, just kind of looked at me like, damn, who's this dude? All right, fine, whatever. But again, like I was saying, as I was thinking over the years that I've met people in this business, I met Jamie Foxx when he was just, Jamie Foxx on the set of his own show, The Jamie Foxx Show. Cool beans. Walked up to me like, yo, big dog, what's up? Now, flash forward to his Golden Globe and Oscar run, first for the Stanley Tookie Williams picture, and afterward, of course, for Ray when he won everything. Brother didn't have anything to say to anybody on set. And if you watch the film, I'll try to pick up a clip at some point and put it on this video here, you see me walking right past Jamie. Now, granted, you hear the way that I'm speaking. I ain't no G or anything, but I gave him some daps on the in the video, so it looked right. But Jamie had this thing up his ass the entire time. And now let me preface by saying, or let me play devil's advocate at that point. Jamie had a couple of death threats against him, so I'm sure security around him was real tight. And the funny thing was, I knew his bodyguard. I think he and I worked on security at some point before that shoot, so whatever. But I gotta tell you, on the flip side of all of that, I have met some people and ran into them again who were real class acts. And here's the best example I can come up with, and I'll never forget this. Dustin Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman and I worked on the movie Outbreak. This is not long after Cuba Gooding had won his Oscar for Jerry Maguire. Dustin Hoffman walked around the set on the first day of shooting and introduced himself to everybody, and I mean everybody. Now, I hadn't bothered to see The Graduate yet, but about the time that we shot the scene, I had bought the VHS, which is how far back we're talking about here, and I watched it and I was blown away. I said, how did I avoid not seeing this great film and this outstanding performance? So I was blown away anyway, just to be on set with him. And here he is walking up to me, all 5'5" of him, sticking out his hand and say, hey, I'm Dustin Hoffman, how you doing? I'm like, whoa. And the man has got several Oscars under his belt. And I've heard that about Jack Nicholson as well, that he has no pretensions about himself. He knows who he is, he knows what he's done, and he doesn't see anybody as a threat. And again, I ran into him again on the set of Wag the Dog. Same person that I met, maybe not as much as approachable. It was a very busy scene we're working on, but smiled, full of happiness and joy. As we Hebrews say, he had simcha. He was a joyful person at all times. Maybe you have a different story, I don't know, but having run into him twice and not changing my persona whatsoever, he didn't change his, and he had no pretensions about himself that day. So I'm starting to wonder, again, if Hollywood has found a way to really screw with people and change their personality, their base personality. And for that matter, again, how many people have been strong enough individuals to not fall for the personality change that might come with fame? I was never famous, although my reality show, Week with My Father, garnered me a lot of attention here, there, and such, but I tried very hard not to wear it on my sleeve or make it color the way that I treated people. Now, I will also play devil's advocate on this point that when you get to a certain level in this business, you get a little bit paranoid. You know, I didn't ask Dustin Hoffman for an autograph, or for that matter, Ben Stiller, both Jewish, but I had a different reaction from one than the other. And it's really kind of strange in that matter. It's really kind of strange. So anyway, Hollywood did definitely change me. It changed my outlook on a lot of things. It tried to break me off my stance or my belief system. It tried to break me off my belief system of believing in Yeshua HaMashiach, who I, used to call Jesus Christ, of course. But I can't honestly say that it really changed me. The funny thing is, I didn't become a vegetarian until after I left California, and here I am in the Carolinas as a vegan. Go figure, a lot of people that'll come from these places and go to Hollywood and do their thing, they become vegetarians and vegans because they want to fit in. I'm proud to say that Hollywood really did not change the core of me, though there was a time when I left Christianity, period, and had dabbled in Taoism when I was studying Kung Fu with Sifu Carl Totten. I changed back. I still practice my Kung Fu as often as possible, though I'm kind of old and fat and I've got a bad knee. But I guess my lesson for everybody watching is don't let your career ambitions or your dreams change you to the point where you do not recognize yourself in the mirror. And good or bad, right or wrong, treat everybody with respect, and you will get it back. Shalom.